First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and salutations to all y'all came on the highways and byways, teaching its works and sailing faithfully. This video is going to be about hell, and I know people, a lot of brothers in Akwath out there who don't believe in hell, right? And we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about why. So you got men teaching that you can't go to hell, you can't go to lake of fire, right? They're lying. It's a lie, all right? There are men who don't even believe in Most High at all, and they're more honest. But because for them, the shocking thing? They're equivalent to an atheist. They don't believe. Think about that now. He had a seed to believe, right? Why can't you know what I mean? Like, so everything Yahushua was saying is just vain. It didn't mean, it didn't hold no weight. It didn't mean nothing because you couldn't see it. So you're equivalent to an atheist for all the men out there, right? The women they're just followers, right? Like, it's sad that women we're supposed to be the head and the women's supposed to follow under us, but you got leaders who don't know how to lead, work for them, and you got men following them, knowing they're wrong, and they're still teaching it is even more ridiculous. So there's two videos I'm gonna show. This one and another atheist. I'm showing. So I got like a whole file, like not file, but like a whole collection on people hell testimonies. But this is gonna be the first one. It's short, but I'm gonna get another video. All right, I'm gonna let it play.
So I'm groping around the darkness looking for a light switch. If the light's gone out, or if I flatlined and I was pronounced dead. And so I'm next minute out of that hospital in complete darkness. So I'm grappling, did we have a power cut? If the light's gone out, or if I died. So I'm groping around the darkness looking for a light switch. I thought, it's so dark in here you can't see your hand in front of your face. So I bring my hand towards my face, and my hand goes straight through my face. I thought, that's impossible. Two hands, both hands. I go for my chest. Nothing. My hands, nothing. And then I have the terrifying realization that I could be alive out of my body. And then I could feel evil, the most intense evil. It was like invisible eyes were looking at me. It was like a spirit.
When I had sleep paralysis once, I felt there was this dark presence. It was a couple years back. It was in my dream. It was Edomite, blonde hair and blue eyes Edomite, with a suit on. And he left the dream and appeared in the room, but he appeared as like this black, dark figure. And all I felt was this dread and darkness, and fear came over me. It was just the same feeling he had, I had, right? The sleep paralysis is when your spirit's in between leaving your body and it's in between leaving and going in your body. It's like, yeah.
Spiritual darkness. And I heard men screaming out of the darkness saying, shut up. I thought, I've said nothing. Not realizing my inner thought was a speech, and they could hear me going, where am I? Who turned the lights out? Another man, you deserve to be here. I said, deserve to be where? Another man in front of me, you're in hell. I was like, in hell? I don't believe in it, you know what I mean? Hell's supposed to be a party place.
Esau something else. Hell's supposed to be a party place. Esau's following Jake on social media. All the Gen Zs, Gen X, YOLO, you only live once. Who the hell said? Whoever says that is there's a lot of people who say not even Jake. It'd be everybody, all the whole generation, the whole partying. YOLO, you only live once. Hell's a party. You got women, joking about it. Oh, bitch, I'm gonna see you in hell. Laughing about it. Like, we're gonna be laughing. You're not. It ain't fun. The testimonies I've been watching. Hell is not a place. Every idle word. This man, he just appeared in hell. He didn't even get to go to the throne room, go to the Most High. The Lord just instantly put his ass in torment. Like, oh, yep. So imagine the Most High talking to a woman who thought like that. Oh, you think hell's a party place? You got a ticket there already. The Lord remembers everything you ever said. Everything. It's like a recording of everything. He just plays it back to you. You can sit there like, yeah, how do you can't? What do you do? You know. But yeah, this dude said, "The hell was a party place."
And I'm wrestling with this whole concept. Then I have a realization, well, this could be Hades, this could be hell. The next minute I'm thinking, well, God's every right to send me here, and yet I reflected on the fact that I had prayed in the ambulance. Next minute, radiant light pierces.
So the Lord gave him another chance. That's telling you that just because you're an Edomite, he could be a Jake, a Japhite, a Moabite, whatever, but let's say he's an Edomite, right? All right, let's say that. The Lord gave him a second chance. The Lord can do whatever he wants. He can give anybody a second chance, right? For the Jake out there is probably mad like that nigga should have died. Well, we're not far from where he's at. We're really not. You know, Jake, us as a people, man, we were given the utmost. Like we were given Yahweh. He came from us, our nation. Look how our people treated him. The Most High gave us His laws, and look how we did them. You know, and we didn't listen to none of, Lord's will, I'm not one of those people, but Jake didn't listen. Israel didn't listen to the prophets. They stoned them, killed them, ignored them. Like, come on now. Now, when you go to hell, you sorry, you want to make it right. Like, come on. But that's one. That's just one. Okay, this is not. None of these are the ones I
Praise Jesus, show me the souls of the.
Actually, I want to save this one. I'll probably watch this one later on a separate occasions. Let me get the hell testimonies.
Like I was lifted right out of my body and hovered over my.
You read the top, it says atheist dies and goes to hell, and Jesus saves him.
Body, looking down at myself and looking around, and next thing I knew, I went through the ceiling of the room I was in, and I was transported into a very, very, very black, dark void. I could hear like somebody speaking to me, like telepathy, and it was explaining to me many, many things that I no longer remember, but most of the idea was explaining to you the whys of life, why there was evil in the world, why this, why people have questions all the time. These were being answered to you as you were being transported to this light. And the time you got to where the light was, you knew what happened. You know what's going on. You know what happened. You know you died. You know you're going to be judged, and everything is. As you're traveling, it's made so clear to you that what's happening is perfectly just and right. And I was going through the darkness and was approaching the light there. And I noticed that on this rock, there was a big, huge boulder right out in the middle of this darkness. And there was a person sitting on a throne. And the individual that was sitting on it was emanating light. Very, very powerful, bright light. And there was a love and compassion too, but also a firmness and fairness emanating from this person. And I'm going, who is this? And the basic question that was coming to me through this thought was, look what you have done with God's gift. That was actually Jesus was speaking this to me. He said, if I let you into heaven with what you know now, that I'm just right.
You think too with Jesus? I believe it was just an angel. Not, yeah.
Perfect. You would misuse that and keep sin alive in heaven. You can't come in. He told me it was granted to me to see a land unknown that's best forgotten, but will not be left unseen. That was it. And then he took out all these keys out of his robe, just pulled them out. And as he pulled them out, you can see the scar where the nails were kind of like in the wrist area, and it kind of pulled the bones apart. It's kind of traumatic looking. And he had these keys, and the keys were odd shapes and design. And he walked over to a place, and he stuck this key into this, looked like a gate. And a door opened. Then the veil came over, and it was dark again. I couldn't see it all. I could see it was the Lord. And I was being moved toward this door, and I went through that door into a void. I mean, a tornado vortex. It was just going round and round. It was a tunnel, spinning horrendously around, just roaring and roaring and spinning and spinning and spinning. And it smelled horrible. You hear screeches and noises and so on. The most thing I remember the most was slurping noises and screams, and I could feel heat, really hot heat. The next thing you know, I was falling through the sky. It looked like the sky, and I hit the ground. Kind of hurt, and I stood up, and I looked, and I go, where am I? All these people ran out, and some of them looked like people that were dead that I knew, and other people I knew that were not dead. And they come around me, slapping me on the back. They got there awful quick because the house looked far away, but all of a sudden they were there, slapping me on the back, welcoming me there. But something just wasn't quite.
So these people were just smiling around, smacking them on the back. If you ever had a nightmare, that's basically, in a way, the spirit is transported to some of these dark places. Because every time you fall asleep, your spirit leaves its body. Every time you fall asleep, and it comes right back. And sometimes when you have nightmares, that's actually your spirit is in between being here and in hell. It's just something to think on. Not saying it's factual, but it's similar to a nightmare in a way, right? Demons taking the form of people. Don't they do that in nightmares? And they chase you around, trying to kill you in your dreams and all that.
Right with them because they looked weird. They had yellow glints in their eye. Their eyes are almost reptile-like. I looked over and I saw what looked like my best friend turn into somebody else. And I said, hey, wait a minute, you can't do that. You're not who you say you are. Who are you? And then all of a sudden I looked around and I go, all these people around me are not people. And began to morph into what they were. They were ugliest creatures I've ever seen. Kind of like some of them are just god-awful, like rotting vegetables. They were distorted and twisted, and they were not perfect by no means. And they were just filthy, smelly creatures. And they were just starting to come at me like they were shredding to pieces. And one tried to grab me right across my chest. One tried to grab my legs. While they're trying to tear you to pieces, they backed away. And this one that looked like my best friend earlier, who morphed into different people, came up to me. It was about 4'8", looked like a sort of half dinosaur, a reptilian type creature, and it was hissing and spitting at me. And was speaking in a language that I didn't know what it was saying at first. I was telling, and it was broken in English. It was telling me to come follow it. So he motioned to me, and we took a few steps, and all of a sudden, we were at the end of the horizon. Now that doesn't make any sense, but we came across to what looked like the end of the horizon. You couldn't go any further, and I couldn't understand what it was. And yet I could look out, and I could see all this vast fields and mountains. And then that creature stuck its hand in this horizon, and he ripped it open like a veil, and he stepped out of it up onto this road, and he telling me to come. He's motioning me to come, so I did the same. I just went ahead, I got out, and next thing I knew, I was on a large, wide, dusty, flat road. I just came out of a cell, a cube. It was around 10 by 10 foot square. It could have been 14 by 14. That's what the dimensions were. And there was a cell next to it, and there was a cells above it, kind of set back, concave, so they're going up. And there were 6 of them to the roof of this place. And in the walls are embedded peoples in cells. And we pointed to another cube, and in this cube, I was looking at there were people inside these cubes. Some were vacant, some people were waiting for people to arrive like I did. There's this person in there. And I was just looking at them, and then it was showing me another person. Each person that was in their cube was like they were reliving parts of their life all over again, but not in a very pleasant way. It's like a living nightmare. And as we were walking along, I realized that hell is just an enormous big place, and there's many other parts to hell that I did not see. I just saw this place called the pit. And so it says, it's been granted to thee, follow me out to the middle of the road. So he walked out in the middle of the road, all these demons and creatures running around, and I saw all these people in various stages of torment. And some of these demon creatures inside these cubes were going in at will. And they would be attacking people in various ways. But to the people, they look like other people or time.
So basically, they'll enter your mind in the dream. So, not in the dream, Saki. And when he was in hell, people were stuffed in cubes, and the demons would jump into the cell and into their mind, and then they'll play tricks on them, thinking they're a dead relative, or if they're a mother or dad or uncle or brother, sister, whatever, and just start attacking them.
In their lives.
And what does that sound? That sounds like you're in a dream or a nightmare, right? Ain't that what happens in nightmares? Think about it. You're basically in hell. When you're in a nightmare, that's a hell. That's hell. Think about it. It sounds so. We're gonna go on with the video, but it fits. It sounds so like a nightmare when you have a nightmare when you're dreaming. You're trying to get out of it.
Look like demons. Whatever their worst nightmare was is basically what they were living. We walked along to another cube, looked inside of another individual that was there, and it reminded me of an old sailing ship. And this guy used to be a captain of the ship, and he was being flogged. Things that he did on this old sailing ship, but he did it for pleasure for these people because it was his ship, and he liked to be mean to his crew, and it was being meted back to him. And I noticed this creature looking at me. He was in a cube at first, and the person who was looking at this creature is one of those tall creatures with the faces that went around, but it was like a beautiful purplish color, and kind of a beautiful creature, but hideous at the same time. And with its faces revolving around, very seductive, very, very flattering, very, very persuasive. It would try to plant thoughts in your mind, trying to tell you, why would such a good God allow people to suffer like this? But it was trying to get me to curse God. I really don't know who the demon creature was. I know he had great power and authority. He either was the second in command or he could have been Satan himself. Like I was lifted right out. As one vortex was spinning, and a lady that just died in a car wreck came through, and she was deposited right there. And I saw her as she arrived, and inside her cube, she saw it as the illusion of her grandmother's farm, her grandparents' farm that she loved so well as when she was growing up. And her grandmother recently passed away too, so she got in this cube, and immediately she thought she was in heaven because there was a grandmother waiting there welcoming her. The grandmother that was actually a demon that gave the illusion of being the grandmother said, "Dear Pudding, you made it to heaven. I'm so glad you're here." And she really thought that she was in paradise. But there was a darker side to her. She would make her children be what she wanted. Her children wanted something else. She wanted them to be this. And if they didn't do it her way, it was the fist. It was verbal abuse. It was cutting down. So as she sat down, I was watching it, and the trees, limbs just grabbed her. And then she realized she was not in paradise. And as we passed some cubes, there were people inside, and they were trapped in flames. And it was like their skin was still intact. But
this is an atheist. Why would an atheist lie about this? A man who lives his life being atheist. He looks like he's in his probably 50s. Why would he lie about this? And he's been an atheist probably most of his life. This is Esau. Esau love science. All of a sudden, he just dies out of body experience. He just says, "You know what? I'm gonna say what the hell."
They were burning. And there was this individual, and he was playing pool. And this guy was a child serial killer, but he lived in the 1940s. But he was in this pool hall playing this pool before the punishments would commence again. He thought he had a break. And then these people in there would torment him and come and run and just grab him and tear him up. And out of the sky, I could see this big demon coming down. It reminds me of Snake. He just gobbled him and swallowed him. Then all the other little demons came up and said, that's no fair. We didn't have our chance with him yet. regurgitated him back up. He was whole. I know this sounds really bizarre, but that's what happened. Then all the other little demons, little teeny things, about 3 foot tall, just jumped on him. And he was powerless. And they were beating and clawing him. And there was no rest for this guy whatsoever after that. It was constant torment. Everything that he ever done was being justly put back to him. Came to a cube. I was looking at this cube, and this was a woman. She was dressed in fine garb. She was a temple prostitute, basically what it was. And she was somebody who died in Corinth around 69 AD. For a price, she would have a newborn son. For some reason, their religion was some strange thing. You have a newborn son, you can offer it into a statue, and there's flames underneath the statue. You put the baby on the statue, and basically the baby would be cooked. And here she is in this temple. There was no let up to her torment. It was almost like all the little babies that she burned that were hers and other people's were tormenting her, mocking her, pouncing on her, just crawling, tearing her up. And she just screamed, and I had to turn away and walk. There was an individual that she practiced the black dark craft. She was a witch. I just knew that she was a witch, but she died many, many, many hundreds of years ago. But she was trapped in a coffin, scratching, trying to get out. She couldn't get out. She was in that position for years and years and years and years, hundreds of years. And then finally, when she got it open, all the demons would pounce on her. I walked on to another cube. We looked in this other cube on this row, and there was another lady, and she believed that Mother Earth could save her, and then if she honored the trees and the rocks, and she was into this nature.
Well, different types of people went to hell. People who sacrificed, people who were prostitutes, people believed in Mother Nature
thing, and part of their religious practice that she would practice would be getting out in the fields and dancing around a fire with a bunch of other people doing the same. The people that she thought that she was with were actually demons, and they would come up to her and say, "You did this." They pick up a stone. You say, "The stone will save you here," and they smacked her with it. So she was standing there, and the demons reached down there and reached in her mouth, ripped out her tongue and part of her thing. Says, "You talk bad? No, the stones are not going to save you. Nobody can save you." Then they ripped off her, just actually took her skin and just peeled it off. It was really slow and agonizing to shreds until nothing to the skeletons. Then they took the bones and broke the bones. And she felt.
And guess what happened? You get regenerated because your spirits are eternal. You're just gonna go through that again. This is hell. This is not even lake of fire. You know what I mean? This is not even a lake of fire. This is. I was watching another hell testimony. Something worse than this was happening to people. Something worse than these things was happening to people. I'm like, this is, and then you got people saying there's no such thing. This atheist is being more. He had to see to believe it. I mean, that's equivalent to some leaders out there. That's sad. That's really sad. You're equivalent to an Edomite atheist because you can't believe what Yahushua what he said. That's what do you just don't even pick up the scriptures, man. Just go back to start level 1. Go back to listening. Don't even make don't even preach. Just don't teach. Just learn again. There's nothing wrong with that. Just say, hey man, we need a couple of weeks to get things. Cause you guys don't got it. People don't got it.
Everything. Then her body would come back together. The flesh would come back together. And she'd be whole again. And it would start all over again. A different scene would happen. And some of the cruelest people on earth were in these. Some people, I don't like to say names of people or anything like that, but I will, this one particular individual is definitely there, and everybody knows who it is. It's Adolf Hitler. Hitler was sitting in a cube. It was open, and it was just burning flames. He's just sitting there burning. And his flesh wasn't burning, and he had this hideous look on his face. And as he was burning, the flesh would be rotting, and he's feeling every bit of it. It was almost like every oven of the gas, of the concentration camps, all the tortures that went on there were being meted back to him in one intense flaming bit of stoked up white-hot heat that would rot his flesh away at the same time, make him ashes, come back. He was just being tormented like that. I remember having this weird look on his eyes that's just angry, vicious anger. When we return, Brian Melvin tells how for a moment he thought he may be trapped in hell for all eternity. We were walking another segment of hell near the back recesses of the wall, another segment of the deep dark pit. And we're coming to this one pit that was one place, and the cube was open, and inside there, this demon was trying to get me to go inside this cube in what looked like a dentist chair. I'm not afraid of dentists at all, but this thing looked like a dentist chair to me, with all these hideous creatures in there trying to say, this is where you are going. And they want you in this cube here, and they were trying to get me in there, and I didn't want to go. And this part is very hard for me, because you got to understand, you are so scared.
I'm not meaning to lie, but yo, this dude's about to cry, bro. Why would he lie about this? And he's an atheist. Why? And then he's about to break down. He's breaking down about this. Y'all really think people are playing? Oh, well, it's all just scare people. You shit to get in line. Yeah, that's the whole point. It's for you to get in line. Yeah, people just think Yahweh's a pushover. That's what people think. He can't have his heaven being tainted for the second time, where he's gonna have a bunch of niggas running around just attacking people and Esau. I hate black people. You know, like, come on. You can't. There's got to be a punishment for everything you do. There's gotta. You know, Satan already messed. You know, there's gonna be a new heaven and new earth. What are gonna be dwellers of righteousness. You know, you people need to realize that. You know, the Lord ain't gonna have a Chief Keef in the kingdom. El Chapo, Juan Pablo Escobar, like all these damn cartel drug lords in the kingdom is just not gonna. It doesn't make sense.
This whole time you're there, you're just saying Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. By that time, I was probably saying Jesus Christ so fast, Jesus Christ so fast that it was a blur. That's all I can say. They wanted me in this cube, and I was scared. I didn't want to go in this thing. And like I said, throughout the whole time, you felt a connection with somebody from above, the Lord. And then all of a sudden, you could feel something coming for you. I was so petrified, I couldn't distinguish what it was. You could feel the footsteps walking behind you, and the ground thundering. And as it closer, whatever it was walking behind me. And I was too scared to turn away and see who it was, because I didn't want these things to rush me and grab me. And all of a sudden, they started coming toward me. And then the presence got right behind me, and they all scattered. And that purplish, big, tall, demonic creature, the regal creature, kind of backed slightly away and kind of bowed and kind of walked out, just kind of slithered on into the mist, into the darkness of hell. And the Lord was carrying me up.
So the angel of the Lord gave him another chance.
Did you know it was? It was Jesus. He picked me up. This part I remember though so clearly. He just picked me up in his arms, and I could see and they crucified him. As he's holding me, his bones were pulled apart. He's saying, you pulled apart my bones. And he carried me. And kind of floated through the air and went through the center of the bottomless pit. I went straight up. I remember bits and pieces of being taken to a hospital.
So people thinking this is a joke. It ain't no joke. I'm gonna get John 14:1. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in Yahweh, believe also in me. So you gotta believe in Yahweh. It didn't say Moses. It didn't say King David. It didn't say Elijah. It didn't say Jeremiah. It didn't say none of them. It said Yahweh. You gotta believe in Yahweh. Believe in Yahweh. Believe also in me. My Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also. And whither I go ye know, and the way ye know. Thomas said how unto him, Lord, we know not whither thou goest. How can we know the way? So he said, how are we supposed to know? He said, Yahweh said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So as it says in verse 6, and go down to verse 1 again, let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in Yahweh, believe also in me. So you got to put your whole faith into Yahweh Shai. You can't trust in men. You can't be biased in judgment. You can't just agree to, just to fit in. It's not about fitting. It's about the truth, right? If ye had known me, ye should have known my Father also, and from henceforth ye know him and have seen him. Philip saith unto him, Lord, show us the Father, and suffice us. Yahweh saith unto him, I have been so long time with you, Jake, let me see, let's see the Father. Yet had thou not known me, Philip? He that has seen me has seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, show us the Father? Believe thou not I am in the Father, and the Father in me? The word that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwelleth in me. He doeth the works. Believe me that I am in the Father, and the Father in me, or else believe me for the very work's sake. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I shall do, he shall do also. Greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. So, simple as that. Put your trust in Yahweh Shai, right? And I want to get this. Matthew 25:1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. I still want to go down. I'm going to go down to 25-16. Then he had received the 5 talents, went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. And likewise, he that had 2, he also gained the other 2. He that received 1, went and digged in the earth, and hid his Lord's money. After a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoneth with them. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. The Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. His Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord. Then he which had received 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew that thou art an hard in man, reaping where thou hast not sown, gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I would reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to exchangers. Then at my coming I should have received mine own and with usury. Take therefore a talent from him, and give it unto him which hath 10 talents. For unto every one that has shall be given, he shall have abundance, but from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And Before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another. As the shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats, he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. So this is what's happening. This is what's gonna happen when Yahushua comes back. People are hiding talents. People are not telling the truth. We're teaching half the truth, and now not only teaching, some people, people are teaching half the truth. Some people are not even. It just where is it gonna go? Where does it lead us? Where does it lead our people? People just don't care. People care about office. People care about captain, deacon, care about elder and apostle, but no one's really. Who cares? It's not about that. It's about the truth. It's about honesty. And what I was gonna get is I really wanted to get I'm gonna break this down because since Putin spoke about what the Lord looks like when he was on the scene, this is gonna go into that also. Revelation 20:11 saw a great white throne and him that sat on it, from the face of the earth and the heaven fled away. There was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Yahweh. And the books were open. Another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. Slocking. The sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. So this is coming. This is no joke. Right? And so who's gonna be sitting on the white throne? It's gonna be Yahweh Shai. And what people are not understanding is Yahweh Shai, when he was on earth, he was a black man, right? Let's leave it right. It's not that hard concept. When he comes back, it's gonna be a stumbling block for people because what people are doing now, since the image of the Lord came out, people are saying, why does his color matter? So before Yahushua comes back, there's gonna be an antichrist. So let's say Yahushua was a white man, right? Let's say Jesus was a real thing, right? Then you will immediately automatically believe this man would be the antichrist, right? You would immediately off the rip say, if I know the Lord and Savior Jesus is gonna be a white man with blonde hair and blue eyes with long hair down to his neck, I am I'm gonna be prepared when the Antichrist comes because he's gonna be the exact opposite, right? So you'll reject the image of a black man coming out of the sky because you're gonna believe it's the Antichrist. So for people to say the image doesn't matter, it does matter because now we know what the Lord, how is he gonna look when he comes back? He's gonna look like that when he comes back. That's immediately telling you the Antichrist is probably gonna look like this sort of, or whatever way, But now we know. So for people to say, "Oh, the color doesn't matter," the Lord did die for everyone's sin, but at the same time, it does matter. Truth stakes it matter. Truth matters. Edom is just a demon as usual. What he needs to worry about is the book of Obadiah, the last chapter. That's what he needs to worry about. But so yes, it does matter. Because are you gonna accept him? All your life you've been a racist. You had a Confederate flag. God bless America. In a country you've been in the South. You've been in Texas, Mississippi. You had a white Jesus up. You was part of the KKK or whatever. Why when you see a black man, are you gonna accept him? No, they're not. So they already don't accept Yahushua when it came out because their excuse is color doesn't matter. All right. So when he comes back, I hope you're ready to accept him as your Lord and Savior. It tells you this about the nation Edom. They can get wiped off the face of the earth. So if they're Edomites saying that, immediately they're lying. because the book of Obadiah is going to be fulfilled regardless. So they don't accept them. They're just lying because all they do is lie. You know? I just want to get on that because that's just annoying. It's like everything matters. Everything matters. Every single thing matters to the minute detail to the major detail of everything in the scriptures. You want to get everything exactly right. You know? I'll be watching some of these health testimonies. People saying, "Oh, Jesus came and saved me. Jesus came." I believe Yahushua sent an angel come and save you. But that man, he gave some good detail though in that video. So he could be the Lord. He said he saw his hands being pierced and he grabbed them out of hell. But for the most part, people just they just say, yeah, these Christians are mad. If we're saying the Lord is a black man, then what does the white man look like? Then who is he? If the Lord, yeah, he's the devil. You know. But yeah, we gotta fast. We gotta pray more, right? Be more charitable. Be more forgiving. I feel like because this is it. There's no coming back. And not only that, hell is that's like small pieces of the videos I found. Man, that video it's a lot in that video, but there's way more different types of stories I've been hearing. I hope this video was edifying. Hope we all make it. Lord's willing. Till next time, I say shalom.